Today we have Ms. Blanca Ramirez, who is an executive director at Loudoun Youth Inc., which is a nonprofit organization which assists in development in youth programs and to create leadership opportunities for youth. For listeners who may not be familiar, how would you describe Loudoun Youth and its mission in your own words?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me. It's a really pleasure to be talking to you, Ada. Well, London Youth is a 20-year-old organization rooted in one simple belief that every young person deserves a space where they can discover who they are and grow into who they are meant to be. We do that through programs that build leadership, spark creativity, and connect young people to the community in meaningful ways. We're not just filling time after school. This is what we want to be really clear. We're building the next generation of London leaders, one young person at a time.
What originally drew you to this organization and what motivates you in your role as an executive director?
What drove me, it was the sincerity of the work. This organization is not chasing trends. I mean, we are not like trying to be the next viral thing. It had been quietly and consistently showing up for young people for decades now. I stepped into the executive director role in April last year. It has been 1 year. And what motivates me every single day is seeing what happened when a teenager is finally seen and believing in, and that is something you cannot walk away from. It's really, it makes your day every single day.
Loudoun Youth Inc. has been serving young people for years. How has the mission evolved as the needs of youth have changed?
Well, the mission has to stay beautiful consistently as at its core. Developing young people, create opportunities, and building community. That's our mission, right? What has evolved is how we listen. The youth in Loudoun County today are navigating pressures that they didn't exist 20 years ago. For example, social media, mental health challenges, economic uncertainty problems. Our programs have grown to meet those realities without losing the timeless values of mentorship, accountability, and service that have always defined us.
What do you see as the biggest challenges facing young people in Loudoun County today?
Honestly, it is the quiet challenges that concern me most. London County is an affluent county, and because of that, the struggles that many young people are having can go unnoticed. Teenagers here right now are dealing with intense academic pressure, identity questions, and a real lack of spaces where they feel like they belong and they matter. It's not about your GPA or your resume, but who they actually are. And this is a gap that we are trying to step in and help young people to develop real skills in this community.
How does the organization decide which programs or initiatives to prioritize?
We follow the young people. That is truly the most honest answer I can give you. We look at where the need is deepest, where our programs are producing real measurement change, and where the community is asking us to show up. We also carry a deep respect for what has been working on over the past years. Proven programs deserve investment and protection, not just the newest ideas. And our programs have been really well established in the community. And we used to have a lot of programs, and then we decided to run the ones that will serve better the community.
What's your favorite part about your job?
What is my favorite part? Probably speaking to teenagers, knowing what you guys want to do, how to teach you and to guide you through the future. Because I totally believe the youth deserve respect and we deserve to hear what you guys have to say, because you are facing challenges that we, the adults, we didn't face when we were teenagers. And this is something that I really value, a good and honest conversation with teenagers right now.
Can you walk us through some of your flagship programs like Loudoun Youth Leadership Program, Step Up, or Battle of the Bands, and what makes them special?
Sure. The London Youth Leadership Program is where we invest deeply in teenagers who show promise as a future leaders. They go through a structured development, mentorship, and real world communication challenges. The Step Up London Youth Competition is one of my favorites because it gives young people from middle school to high school a platform to pitch original ideas and solutions to real problems in our community. Innovation, confidence, and public speaking is all in one. And we teach them and we mentor the whoever participates in the step up to be better and to continue with the projects. Also, the Battle of the Bands. This is pure joy. It gives young musicians a stage, audience, and a reason to keep playing. This program is what we call is preventing by design, right? They give teenagers purpose, identity, and belonging before a crisis ever has the chance to take hold.
Is there a particular success story or moment that captures the impact of your work?
Yes, last year it was my first year as executive director, and it was my first program that I ran. And one of the students that I met, he wasn't going to college because it was really expensive and his family didn't have the means to send him to college. And we work, we talk, we give him opportunities, guide them to apply for a scholarship, to apply for college. We guide them through his applications. And we got word 2 weeks ago that he is going to UVA. And I'm super happy. This is something that I'm really proud of because we helped someone to change his future in the way that he really wanted to do it. And this is something that we are really happy about it.
How do you measure success when it comes to youth development and empowerment?
Well, we do it in two ways: data and the story. Right? We track participation from completion outcomes because when we apply for funding, our funders and community partners normally ask for that data. And because we owe it to our young people to know what is working, but we also measure in the long arc. Did that teenager graduated? Did they go to and serve their community? Did they finish the program that they started? Did they become someone their young siblings look up to? Success in young development is often a slow reveal, and you have to be willing to trust the process.
Loudoun Youth Inc. collaborates with schools, local government, and businesses. What makes these partnerships effective?
Belief is a mutual respect and shared purpose. When we partner with the schools, any schools, public schools, private schools, or homeschool students, with the government and local businesses and local nonprofits, we're not going to we're not partnership asking for a transaction. We're asking for a partnership. We're going and asking how we can solve something together. Our partners stay because they see results and they see young people change. And that is compelling reason to keep showing up.
What role do youth voices play in shaping your programs and decisions?
They are not after through. I mean, they are at the point. Are the point. So, for example, our youth advisory council exists precisely so the young people have a formal seat at the table. And beyond that, I listen. I am in rooms with teenagers regularly. Right now, I'm one of them, and I take what they say seriously. What you guys and this is something that changes the outcome of many of the programs. Programs deal without youth input into what the teenagers have to say.
What are your biggest goals for the next few years?
That's a really good question. I really want to deepen in our impact and plan on the reach. That means building a stronger data so we can tell our story with evidence, expanding our presence in underserved pockets um, of Loudoun County. And security the funding that allows us to be sustainable for another 10 years. I also want to grow our alumni network because the young people who have already served are normally our greatest resources when they come back to the community. Yes, we have two uh, expansions that we want to do. The first one is Battle of the Bands in partnership with the Crossroad Music Festival. And we are trying to do an ambassador program in all high schools of London County.
How do you see the needs of Loudoun youth changing in the next decade, and how is the organization preparing for that?
I believe that teenagers will need even stronger anchors, a sense of community, purpose, and identity as the world around them moves faster and feel less stable. The digital world gives them access and opportunity, but also isolates people. We're preparing by staying rational, staying present, and never letting technology replace the human connection that is at the heart of what we do.
What leadership lessons have you learned from working so closely with young people?
Um, One of the things I have learned from the teenagers is to stay curious and to stay humble. And they have taught me that authenticity is non-negotiable. They do see through performance in you. You guys don't expect that. You don't gonna say fake people. And I love that. And they have reminded me that courage is not the absence of fear. But some of the teenagers do extraordinary great things, like step up, speak in front of people, pitching an idea, playing music in front of strangers. So that takes real courage, and I try to honor that.
How has your vision for the organization changed since you started?
The vision has changed a little bit. A year ago, we didn't have a lot of data that we can share. We are including programs and systems that will give us real data that we can share with. So that's the vision. That's the vision is changing. We are using technology as a tool to improve the outcome of our programs.
What is the most rewarding part of your job?
At some a young person, a teenagers who comes and say thank you. You know, because of you, because of one of your programs, I was able to do this, to network with X amount of people. To I don't know what my child will have done without this. Those moments remind me that works is real and it matters, and we're affecting real people.
Skills do you think future youth leaders need the most?
I believe knowing that technology is a tool, knowing that learning technology is not going to replace the human factor, but it's going to make us more productive. We need to use technology as a tool. And I believe that's a challenge that the youth needs to face. And adults, we need to teach and guide them. That you're never too young, that you're not too small. The world needs exactly what is inside of you. And there are people in these communities who are ready to help you find it through mentorship, through guidance, your teachers, your parents. Do not wait for permission to become who you are. To be honest with you, all of them, because every single one reaches a different teenager with different likes, with different opportunities. So Battle of the Fans I love because of the energy. But at the same time I love a step of love competition because there is a little kid standing in front of a group of judges pitching an idea of the leadership program, the networking that these kids are having with CEOs, with elected officials, with business owners, and stand up and and give them their ideas. I believe all of them uh, have something for everyone, and I'm proud of all of them.
How do you make sure that young people feel more heard?
How do I measure how young people?
Young people feel more heard.
We cannot measure that. It's one of the outcomes that sadly we cannot measure. But the only way to be heard is to speak up. And when the students or teenagers don't say what they feel, what they're thinking, adults in the room, we don't hear you. But when you say it and we pay attention, we can change. outcomes in our community. And I believe it's a two-way communication. If a teenager doesn't speak up, it's really difficult to be listening.
What is something that adults often misunderstand about today's youth?
Probably the way you use technology and the way you interact with others. And the way you guys use technology, in my opinion, you are really advanced because you were born with a lot of communications in your hands, phones that we didn't. We didn't grow up with that kind of technology. And I believe many adults, we believe that you guys are disconnected from the community or from the society. And I don't think you are. I believe we are the ones who need to understand how you communicate and learn how to communicate with you. Listen, and do something for the youth. So if a teenager is asking for help, give them help. It's not that they don't want to be helped, but when somebody is raise their hand and ask for help, it's a really great thing to do. So we need to listen to what the youth have to say.
How do your programs help prepare students for life after high school?
Well, we try to reach and teach teenagers with real skills. We don't deal with, we don't talk to parents. We normally talk to the students. We don't allow parents to email us and say, like, oh, my kid wants to do this and wants to apply for this. We normally reply, please tell your student to reach out, to email us. Every single program, we treat teenagers as a real adults. We teach them real life skills like public speaking, how to networking, communication skills. We bring them to talk to local businesses, elected officials, conferences. The Battle of the Bands, for example, is a real stage with real engineers and sound and music and sound and lights. And so they get to experience how it's to be in a real band.
If you could send one message to every young person in Loudoun County, what would it be?
The message will be, do not wait for permission to become who you are. Be who you are and be proud of it.
Thank you so much for taking the time to join us today and for sharing your insight. Your passion and the incredible work of Loudoun Youth Inc. is doing in our community. I appreciate everything you and your team do to empower young people and create opportunities for them to grow and shine. It's been a pleasure having you on the podcast. I'm grateful for your time.
Thank you so much for having me. This community means everything to me. And be able to talk about what our young people are doing and who are they becoming, that never gets old. To anyone listening from finalsalondyouth.org, we love to have you be a part of what we're building. Thank you, Ada, very much.